Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Valiant Wings Publishing. So this is quite an interesting book because it might be familiar to some of you, and I think even me, I reviewed it some time ago, and that's because it came out in 2018. And what I have here on the table, this is the new edition, which is completely revised. It contains the new material because there are plenty of the fresh kits which came out since 2018. And that's why authors decided that it's not the classic reissue, it's actually a full remake, and we get more pages, we get also more photos and more builds inside, and it's so enhanced that in total we get around 260 pages. As you can see, this is quite a thick and hefty softcover publication, and what I have here on the table, that's the final shape of this release. So this book is something what you will get if you order from their official website or from any good model shop or maybe literature shop, bookshop. And as you can see, this is the Airframe and miniature number 26. And so this series is famous for the chance which it gives you that you get all of the things in one book and you don't have to search for the separate publications, and that's why I think this one will be useful in case you plan to build this aircraft. So we are going to start by opening this book and checking the contents page first. Maybe I'll have to close the lenses so that you won't be blinded by the white paper here. So if I zoom in like this, you can see we have the airframe chapters and miniature chapters, and we also have the appendices. We have 5 chapters in the airframe section and also 4 chapters in the miniature section. And also we have quite a logical sequence of these chapters, as you can notice. So it starts with the development history, and then we proceed with various additional things which might be useful in order to understand the, let's say, context or the history of this aircraft. As you can see, we have the preface chapter first. Of course, we have the glossary as well, so that you understand what is what. And again, this is the classic layout for this series of book. There is nothing unusual in case you have some other books from this series. And as you can see, it's literally filled with black and white photos. So this is one of the main advantages of this series because you get a lot of photos. I think they were mentioning that there are more than 200 photographs of the different stages. This will be not only black and whites, but I think we will see also the cover shots as well. And as you can see here, we have the evolution chapter. This one is handy in case you would like to understand how the aircraft was actually developing throughout the time, what was the let's say, idea of the designers, what they were adding, what they were removing or modifying, and why. So as you can see, each version is supplied with a short note which explains the main differences. Then we come to my own favorite, that's the camouflage and markings. As you can see, that's the chapter number 5. And well, the name is self-descriptive, and as you can see here, we have first color illustrations. These are side profiles, these are not full-fledged color or marking guides, but I think it will be easy to find something in case you would like to copy it. And as you can see, these are mostly classic British camouflages or even the solid color ones. As you can see here, we have the top views, and this is, by the way, the new thing, because before they were not including this item, and now as you can see, it applies. So it's written even here, the typical upper surfaces marking here. I'm just looking how it is distributed here, and obviously these are the bottom sides so that you understand how to paint your aircraft. So really cool upgrade here. Then we continue with the stenciling guide for the aircraft. It explains you the placement and also the various quirks on why these writings were here or there. And of course we have the various foreign operators of this aircraft. As you can see, they are divided by the countries, so you will definitely find some interesting options. Next we have the chapter 6, that's the kits of this aircraft, and as you can see, everything begins with the small scale, then we continue with some classics from Japanese manufacturers, and then here, for example, you can see the building a selection chapter. So this one will be dedicated to the aircraft builds, and we start with the Airfix in 1/72 scale. These materials or articles, they're quite cool because they give you an idea on what was done in this build, how author was actually solving various quirks in order to copy the different features. Then we continue here, for example, with the Revel in 148 and this one will be obviously a bit more sophisticated. This picture kind of hints on it. And well, 148 scale aircraft obviously will take a bit more space. And I think that's all. That's the last build in here, because next we have the main differences for this one. As you can see, this chapter is a bit easier to compare because we have the main differences marked in the dark gray, so you can compare it with the previous versions or just understand what was changed on this type of the aircraft. So that's why it is useful in case you would like to replicate some specific type of the aircraft. It will give you the cues on what should be changed in order to have this type which you are aiming for. Next, we continue in detail chapter. So as you can see, this one is dedicated to the cockpit, but there will be other parts of the aircraft as well. This is something what a lot of modelers are actually like this book for, because here, as you can see, you get a detailed reference on the various sections of the aircraft. This is handy in order to add more features on your aircraft to make the standard plastic a bit more convincing and closer to the real thing, or maybe to replicate the wiring and this kind of things, or maybe to even add more interior features. It is all dependent on how far you would like to go. As you can see, there are even drawings included and different explanations on how the structure is actually built up, which parts are used here and there, and this kind of things. So this is not just the gallery of the photos. Authors actually try to explain you the design of the aircraft, design of its various parts. So this is why it is so important chapter of this book, and I would say quite valuable one. Here we continue with the engine, and again you can see we have the cover shots of the real thing. We have also some wartime photos so that you can understand the different modifications which were done on the battlefield. And next we continue with the cannons and machine guns. As you can see, the turrets. Then we continue bombs and rockets and torpedoes. And here we have also the drop tanks, the fuel system. Then we have the radio system and radar. Then we have the cameras. This one is quite interesting, by the way. Next, we continue also with the various electrical systems, and that's pretty much all. So here you can see the panels or the access panels. This might be handy for those who like to rescribe their models in order to get a bit more realistic appearance. And then in the end we have the appendices. Those are fully dedicated to the list of the kits, accessories, and even the literature in case this book is not enough. It should be here, yeah, bibliography, as you can see. So that's not all, because we also get another useful thing. It's the drawings, and as you can see, drawings are supplied in 148 scale. They are in this book, they are standard, so that's why they will be definitely handy in case you would like to rescribe some panel lines, add some rivets and this kind of things. And the price is written here on the rear side. It's 29.45, which is the same level as on the previous books from this series. In my opinion, this is quite well-deserved price tag, because you get a lot of things for such a reasonable amount of money, and this will be definitely a good addition to your library. And in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you plan to build the Beaufighter or you just would like to read more about this aircraft. Still, it will be quite a great read and also quite a good book to have. So in case you would like to get it, you can buy it on the Valiant Wings website and also in any good model shop, as I said in the beginning. In case you have something to say about this book, or maybe you have something, well, for example, the previous issue, write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.